hit these motherfuckers with some Dopey, dude.
I love that Dopey every day. I love to hear the next thing that Chris and Dave are gonna say. And yes, there's Dopey. I used to be a junkie, but now I have some hopey because of those dopes down at Dopey. Hello, and welcome to Dopey. I thought you wanted to say the thing. What? What are you pointing at me for? The podcast about addiction and other things.
No.
What?
It's the podcast about drugs and dumb shit. And it doesn't sound good unless you say it.
Unless I say it?
I can't say it.
Welcome
you have
to
this
Dopey.
Jewish nasally voice that's great.
The podcast about drugs and other dumb shit.
No. Don't say other. Say it again.
The podcast about
drugs and dumb shit.
You just said it.
Yeah, but you say it.
No, I'm not going to say it. You really want me to say it? Welcome to Dopey, the podcast about drugs and dumb shit.
You had no feeling in that. Well, let's just do it. This is going to be a shitty episode.
I don't think it needs to say dumb shit. I think that's good for like one time. You think that's the tagline?
Yeah.
It's growing. The Dopey Nation is growing.
Dopey Nation stays strong.
Represent.
Yep.
I've decided that the podcast will center around recovery.
Center?
It will include more about recovery.
Which, has anybody else ever suggested something like that to you? An idea like that?
I don't think I've ever heard about it before. And I want to stop this and get a cigarette. Here, you talk for a second.
No, you're going to continue.
Just talk for a second.
Okay. All right, well, listen, Dopey audience. While Dave is getting his cigarette, he hates it. He hates it when I say, or when I type LOL to him. So I'm going to try to say LOL.
Listen, I think this is going to be my last cigarette ever.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. You don't even try to quit.
What did you say?
Nothing.
No, what did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Just tell me what you said.
I swear I didn't say anything.
I'm going to hear about it.
Yeah, you're going to hear about it.
What did you say?
Man, just continue with the show.
What did I say? What was my story?
You were at SUNY Purchase and the Knicks Bulls.
The Bulls were coming to town to play the Knicks.
I can't believe you smoke in your house like a heathen.
Please don't say that on the podcast.
Well, the door's open.
Now, the Bulls were coming to New York to play the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. I grew up 5 blocks away from Madison Square Garden. So, my friend Dave and I came down, and we were watching the Knicks in my parents' house. And I decided at the first quarter that me and Dave were going to go to Madison Square Garden and sneak in to Madison Square Garden. So we went to the game. And I didn't really have a plan for how we were going to sneak into the next game.
LOL.
I had just decided we would. Why did you say LOL?
Because it was funny.
What was funny?
What you just said. You didn't have a plan. It's an LOL moment.
Are you trying to get me mad?
What do you mean?
I don't like LOL.
You don't?
Because you know I don't like it. Why do you say LOL? You don't even. You say that? Do people say LOL?
I think it's a new thing.
Are you just trying to get me mad? Is that what you whispered when I was in the other room? That you were going to say that you're going to say LOL?
It is.
Was this your thing?
This was my thing.
This is your bit? Am I right?
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Please don't say LOL or text it.
Okay.
Why'd you do that?
Just keep going, man. I had to. It was an accident.
It's disgusting.
It's an accident.
I don't like that kind of thing.
It was. I know you don't. It was an accident.
That's why you did it?
No, it was an accident.
Chris is like at the edge of his seat drinking Diet Coke, waiting for the next tremendous, disgusting burp to come. Chris acts like if you meet Chris, you're gonna assume he's smart and he's gonna speak really well, and you might hang out with him for months before it occurs to you how stupid he is. It's amazing. It's like it took me years. I've known Chris for 4 years?
Like almost 5, yeah.
Almost 5 years, and I didn't realize what a fool he was until we started doing Dopey, the podcast about drugs and other dumb shit. You just fucking ruined the whole podcast.
Okay, Toodles.
No. We don't say Toodles either. we say write us an email at dopeypodcast@gmail.com. Check us out at Dopey Podcast on Instagram. Join the Dopey Nation and have a good night.
And stay strong, my brother.
You can say Toodles if you want.
Toodles.
Hello and welcome to Dopey.
The podcast about drugs and dumb shit.
It sounds horrible when you say it.
That's why I want you to say
Why
it.
can't we say Dopey, the addiction podcast about nonsense?
Sure, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
I like that one.
Dopey, the dumbest podcast you could ever hear with the two biggest idiots you'll ever find, especially Chris.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
You don't have to add your jab constantly. Just
welcome
non-stop.
to Dopey, Chris's dumb podcast. When Chris gets tired, he has nothing to say. He starts rocking back and forth on the couch, licking his palms and rubbing it against his head.
Licking his palms. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like some
SMI?
Yeah.
I think this podcast sucks.
I think you suck. You know what it should have said?
What?
Severe mental illness. Can you just do me a favor?
Sucks.
Can you just do me a favor?
What?
Can you, just for my sake?
No, I'm not going to do any sort of accent.
Just one thing.
Never.
Just one thing.
Does it require changing the inflection of my voice?
Just one thing.
If it requires the inflection
just do me a favor.
change, then no.
Chris, I've saved your life with this podcast. Can you just do me one favor?
You set me back, if anything.
Can you just please do me a favor?
Oh, yes.
I want you to pretend you're Sully from Boston or from Gloucester, and you need some clam chowder, and you're ordering some on the phone. Can you just do that?
I'm not going to do it.
Okay, this bit has gone on long enough. I want to apologize to the Dopey Nation. I'm really sorry.
Is still listening if we...
I don't know. This
episode. Are we going to air it?
Yeah, we're going to fucking hear it. Good night. I hope Mark's...
Say it.
What?
Toodles.
You don't say fucking Gloucester, Chowder, or Wicked Dark Beer. I'm not going to say Toodles.
You said it.
Hello and welcome to Dopey, the podcast about drugs and other such stuff. And here we are again on the Lower East Side. What?
The Lower East Side of Manhattan. It's good. Just go. You already blew it. Keep going.
I will never say it again.
I know.
I'll never say it
you
again.
Just stare. I'm not going to ask you to say it.
I was hoping you'd jump in.
It's going to destroy this podcast.
Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. Welcome to Dopey, the podcast about nonsense and drugs and addiction. And we are turning to the new Dopey Recovery Dopey.
No, we're just adding little tidbits of recovery.
When we started Dopey, the podcast about drugs and other dumb shit, we, and I want you guys to feel free to talk. But Chris is a fucking idiot, first of all.
Chris handed me the phone and say you like Dopey.
Yeah, that's why, because Chris, wouldn't you say, I want to bash Chris for a second here in full glory.
Which is what he does in every episode.
Chris is like so bright, and he can present so bright until you get to know him. And the second you get to know him, look at that face. That dumbass fucking hand in the phone. I like Dopey. I'm like, get this kid off the phone.
So let's mind you this, okay?
Yes.
For as much as Dave bashes on me, when this shit hit the fan with him, I was the person he called. So what does that say about you?
Number one, my life is sad. Number two, to be honest, I love you.
Yeah.
I love Chris. And I think he's very smart. But he's so dumb, too. It's miraculous, the stupidity.
We all are.
Yeah.
We all
Of
have
course. But Chris, he is a specimen. And that's the show.
All right.
All right.
Toodles.
Please stop saying Toodles. Hello and welcome to Dopey.
The podcast about drugs and dumb shit. There you go.
Yeah, I like the
Look at
dumb
that.
shit.
You do?
I do. I love
Do you
it.
think it's necessary to have a tagline for a podcast?
No, but I like the dumb shit, and then I even like more the banter about whether or not there should
Which
be
has
dumb
become an every episode deal.
What I love about it is how that Chris thinks it's cool to say dumb shit.
I like it when you say it like in a defeated way. Like the podcast about drugs and dumb shit.
I know what he's saying. He thinks it's like this is actually a really good compliment he's giving me. He likes how cool I sound when I say dumb shit.
I hate to admit that, but it's kind of true.
It's like whenever Chris looks up
It's
to
like
me,
the tragedy that is Dave.
No,
Like
thank
sad
you.
things.
But no, when Chris looks up to me, it makes me very uncomfortable. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, you should look up to me, but you really shouldn't.
Okay, this was great. Are we done? What's the deal?
I was telling a story,
yeah, tell me the
but
story.
don't bust open the food
Okay,
while I'm
alright.
telling the story. What's wrong with you?
What do you mean?
What's wrong with you?
I like to antagonize you, so I thought I would do that.
What are you talking about?
That's exactly. You shouldn't ask me.
Can you put the?
I'm
You're
looking it up.
ruining
The guy is
podcast. All right,
Chowda.
Chowda. That was the best one. Did we get that on the air?
We did. It's good. And actually, somebody, I'll show you later. Somebody messaged me about that.
Really?
Yeah,
Joe.
it's Joe.
What did you write?
We're having a conversation.
He wants to come back.
During Dopey, you're having a conversation?
We're rambling here.
All right, good night. Thank you for listening.
Good night.
Toodles.
Hello, and welcome to Dopey, the podcast about drugs and addiction.
I'm sorry I was late.
It happens.
Chris
And
was
about being late,
Yes.
I'll let you know what an asshole I am, okay? Not only was I late,
I'm sure it's no good reason. I'm sure
I-
you're sitting at home eating ice cream and watching television, and you're like, I really don't want to cut into this me time.
Yeah.
So my point was, though, I was additionally late because I had to pull up to the Easy Pass lane. The lever arm barrier didn't work, and I just sit there, and people start honking. And I've been literally doing that every time I come to New York for months now. So I'm an asshole.
Jeremy needs to go.
I gotta go.
All right,
but
But Jeremy, you did a tremendous job.
well, thank you.
That's
That's
great.
fun.
That's
great.
Oh, thank you.
One last thing
Outstanding.
before you go, you need to say Toodles.
Don't say
No.
Toodles. Don't say it.
TTFN.
What is that?
Ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now. That's as good as Toodles. Right?
That's
Yeah,
even
it is.
worse.
From now on, I'm going to say ta-ta for now.
No, you say Toodles.
I'll
That's
say
your thing.
I'll alternate.
Well,
right,
thank
we're
you,
done.
Jeremy. Good night, everybody.
Later.
Good afternoon. Why don't you introduce this one?
Hello, and welcome to Dopey, the stupid podcast about dumb shit.
That's not what it's called at all. But I guess that works. I wish we had analytics on the show that could tell us if everybody that listens... Could you please write us and tell us if you find that as disgusting as I do? Because I really don't like that. You could send us an email to dopey...
Just wait until I have to fart.
dopeypodcast@gmail.com. So anyway, the point is, who the fuck is listening to this dumb shit?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
We're recording it.
And then when I wish you wouldn't burp during the show. I'm serious.
All right, I won't.
You do it on purpose, and it derails me. I think it's gross, and it derails me.
All right.
Why do you do it? You do it to bug me?
No, I
Tell
don't
me-
do anything to bug you.
I think you do that to bug me.
What?
Burp.
By bugging you right
He
now?
like gears up for the burp. He like changes his
At least I
body.
don't blow it at your face.
Yeah, well, I'm sure your peeps up wherever you're from do that shit, or they used to. Anyway, Dopey Nation, stay strong. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Toodles.
Goodbye.
TTFT. Ta-ta for now. TTFN.
Yes. Goodbye. Before I talk and
No,
say
no,
welcome
no,
to
you-
Dopey,
Why not?
because Chris is so crazy. Chris is crazy. Chris, you're crazy.
I'm not crazy.
You need to say we're going to record 6 so we can do 4.
Yes.
That's your logic. We
Yes.
can't just say we'll do 4.
It's called overshooting.
Just so you know, when Chris...
Well, that
Chris-
was your trade secret you didn't want them to reveal, was that we record many in a row.
They know. They know everything. When
Well, you haven't even introduced the show yet.
Hello and welcome to Dopey, the retarded podcast about recovery and dumb shit.
Okay.
I'm Dave.
And Chris.
Chris is a dick.
What?
You're fucked up.
Why?
Chris has hit
It was that
fucking
episode of Girls, man.
hypoglycemic ADD
No, I just
fucking
ate.
problem. But before you ate, you were just hungry. I wonder if maybe our show isn't worth being any bigger than it is.
Maybe we plateaued.
When?
I don't know. Now.
This is the plateau?
Perhaps.
Goodbye.
Later.
Hello, and welcome to Dopey, the podcast about addiction and other dumb shit. My name is Dave,
And my name is Chris.
and here we are in the scenic Lower East Side of Manhattan, in my lovely apartment.
Dave just told me this show is all about energy and that I need to pay attention.
Well, it's true. The show is about drugs, dumb shit, and energy. And one thing that I really wanted to talk about...
Dave's feeding me sugar.
Yeah, I'm giving Chris sugar so he stays awake and energized. And I just hope it doesn't backfire because I see this energy growing in his face. He's got this mischievous look that I'm sure it's just like what he looks like when he smokes crack.
No, I'm good.
Did I ever tell you the time that I smuggled heroin into Jamaica?
Are you allowed to tell him?
No. Good night. Thank you for listening to Dopey.
Toodles.
Hello, and welcome back to Dopey, the podcast about drugs, addiction, and dumb shit. I'm Dave.
And I'm Chris.
And we haven't recorded Dopey in a long time.
No, are you sure they're not going to hear the trucks and stuff outside?
Maybe they will. I don't care. But Chris told me something very fascinating. I don't know if anybody likes honey bunches of oats out there.
Yeah.
I don't love them. That's why I still have the box from 2014. But Chris told me they have a cereal called Just Bunches.
I don't know if it's still out.
Which would tell me that this cereal, I don't know if you guys eat it, but in Honey Bunches of Oats, you have all these bullshit flakes, and then you have bunches of oats that are delicious and put together with honey. And they're so good, and a cereal with just the bunches.
Yeah, but the flakes is what makes it healthy.
The flakes aren't healthy. None of it's healthy.
It's better than the bunches. The bunches are just little sugar nuggets.
Wow, maybe they should just call the cereal Sugar Nuggets.
I'd buy it.
That could be a good band name.
Sugar Nuggets.
Sugar Nuggets.
You know what
Opening up for the string cheese incident and disco biscuits.
You know what I always...
Sugar Nuggets.
You know what I always thought would be a great band name? There's this phrase in psychology, LFT, low frustration tolerance.
That's a hardcore band.
That would be a hardcore band, right?
Yeah.
But that's a good name, right?
For a hardcore band.
Yeah, but whatever.
And they
Not that I
call
listen.
themselves LFT. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
How about
What's your band called?
It's called SMI.
Yes. Dude.
It's called Severe Mental Illness.
You had about a 3-foot gap to make that. He just tried to throw his cigarette out the door, and now it's burning on the floor. His hardwood floor.
Hold on. I think you tapped my musical inspiration.
He tried to throw a cigarette out the door, and now it's burning.
Tried to throw a cigarette out the door, and now it's just burning on the floor. He has severe mental illness.
Low frustration tolerance.
He's addicted to the vape.
Alright.
What do you think about this episode, though?
I think it was alright. I mean, I think you droned on a bit in the beginning.
Why? I haven't told the story in months. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Have a good evening. Dopey Nation, stay strong. Don't forget to email us at dopeypodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah.
And more importantly, perhaps, write a review.
Write a review that we've been told that people should write reviews on iTunes. Because that'll help us get more listeners or something.
Please, write reviews, pass it on to your friends, or tell us that it sucks. Or check us our horrible Instagram game out at Dopey Podcast on Instagram, which is really just a piece of garbage. Please, feel free. Let us know your thoughts, and be well.
Be well. Toodles.
Hello, and welcome to Dopey, the podcast about drugs, recovery, addiction, and other dumb shit. My name is David.
My name's Chris.
And here we are again, in the fabled Lower East Side of New York City.
Why is it fabled?
Because there's a lot of good stories that come from the Lower East Side.
Oh, okay.
Great stories. I have to read Chris's response to Emily.
Dave called me up about this. Had a firm talk with me about it.
Chris was so upset, too, because he was... It's just such a low down thing that Chris did. It's just so... I'm going to read
It's
you.
not that low down.
I'm going to read you what Chris
You're blowing
wrote.
it out of proportion.
Chris writes, "Hey, Emily!" Exclamation point. Thanks for the email. You guys ready for this? You guys, I hope you guys are ready for this. This is what Chris writes to our listener, who we do not know, who took the time to write an email. Chris writes this. Again, "Hey, Emily!" Exclamation point. Thanks for the email. I will stop burping. I can't even read it. Instead, I will rest my anus on the microphone and blow you a kiss. And I read this, and I just could not believe that I read this. So I call up Chris. I'm like, dude, you can't fucking tell the listener that you're going to blow her a kiss from your anus. Nobody wants that. And Chris was already mortified. He was like, I hear you. I got to go. It was the first time Chris ever got off the phone with me immediately. He was so upset. You were upset at yourself.
I thought it made sense in the moment.
No. What he said was, I don't know why I did it. I was debating with myself whether I should mention this anal kiss, and I can only imagine the stuff he texts the women he's dating.
Nothing like that.
There's no anal kissing going on?
No.
Here's the things I'm asking our audience. Number 1, write an email. Number 2, write a review, and preferably a favorable one. Number 3, do you want a t-shirt with the Dopey logo on it? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do a t-shirt giveaway contest. For the person who writes the most fake reviews on iTunes, they get a free t-shirt.
Is that blood or barbecue sauce on your pants?
I'm going to say chocolate, probably. But I don't know. Maybe we can answer that question on the next episode of Dopey. Have a good night, Dopey Nation. Stay strong. Represent. Good night.
Night.
Hello. Welcome to Dopey. The podcast.
Wait, restart. Do it again.
Why?
Just do it again.
Why?
Because I snapped right when you were saying hello.
Hello. I can't snap good. Hello, and welcome to Dopey, the podcast about addiction and drugs and recovery and other such things.
You can't snap?
I can't snap.
I can snap, but I snap with this one instead of that one. My middle finger instead of my... Well, I don't know.
Is that a snap?
No, that's like your third one. That's a weak snap. I also can only whistle reverse. Like breathing in. Breathing out, I'm bad at it.
I think addicts have these kinds of problems. This is the worst podcast we've ever done.
No, this is good.
You don't know
No, but
anything.
I need to know that song of... hold on, I'll sing it in a second.
Just sing it. Conversation isn't going anywhere. Considering you got Prince, Michael Jackson, and Freddie Mercury confused.
Yeah. All right, I think we're done with this one.
I just have to say to the Dopey Nation, I'm really sorry. This is the worst episode we've ever done.
I feel like we say that a lot, but we do outdo ourselves.
This one is really not good. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Thank you for listening. Please write an email or write a review or whatever you want. And good night.
Toodles.
1, 2, 3, forever in debt. Building standing set, standing their ground to defend against the rest. We're all at odds. Don't forget your bets from the roof. I yell. Can hardly break a sweat.
Is this your band?
Sabotage is no longer camouflage. It's almost in the open, so you better quit your jobs if you had one, which you don't. I can't say it looks too good. It could be a mirage pointed at your head. I think it's time to dodge.
This is good.
And I haven't paid my rent, and my money's all been spent. I plan to take it over, but I haven't made a dent. I lost some folks I used to call my friends. They'll all be back when I'm on my feet again. But sabotage is no longer camouflage. It's almost in the open, so you better quit your job. I can't say it looks too good. It could be a mirage pointed at your head. I think it's time to dodge. Forever is a long time to pay that kind of price. Might think you saw it coming. It could have just been the northern lights. And a long time away is an hour from when. I don't remember when it started, Thursday or Friday, or then again it could have been forever in debt. Like Danny said, I'm back to the beginning, got no time to second guess, and yes, I'm easily impressed by the ways you do confess. Control the situations by the moves inside your dress, but I gotta go, got nothing left to say. What time is the show? I can't anyone say. I gotta go, got no more time today. Tomorrow is a long time from today. Tomorrow is a long time from today. Tomorrow is a long time from today.
I'm impressed. I get some vape knocks.